Buying a new home is stressful, but buying two at once is an emotional minefield.
But many Aussies are taking the plunge and trying to make their hard-earned dollars work even harder.
Finding the right property can be tricky at the best of times, and this week we're helping a couple with a lot on their plate.
We're homeless.
We're homeless. We've sold everything that we have.
They're leaving Melbourne and heading west to Perth, and in one of our toughest searches yet, getting this young couple to agree on where to live is almost impossible.
We had a slightly different, I suppose, preference for location.
You love the beach, where I prefer the river.
The visual for me is that I can see our family living here.
I really do not have a desire to live here.
This week we're helping a young family who are struggling to cope with some huge changes in their lives.
They're looking for a family home in sunny Perth and a crash pad in cosmopolitan Melbourne. And with a baby on the way, the clock is definitely ticking.
Katie and Matt are a young couple under the pump.
They've just relocated nearly 3,500 kilometres from Melbourne to Perth with toddler Charlotte. And while it's a promotion for Matt in his job as a department store manager, it's a big move for the family.
And if that's not enough of a challenge, they're also desperate to buy a house. And they've got a new baby on the way. Now that's pressure.
The stress level, I suppose, is is huge with any move, and particularly having a 2-year-old and Katie being more than half the way towards having another baby. It takes a toll, I think.
It's been a crazy few months as they've recently sold and packed up their 3-bedroom home in Camberwell in Melbourne's eastern suburbs and are now bunkered down in a serviced apartment in Perth.
So we feel a bit empty. We've literally sold...
homeless.
We're homeless. We've sold everything that we have. And
Absolutely.
all we've got now in the service department is 4 suitcases.
We're cashed up, but we're homeless.
This is not the first time that Katie and Matt have lived in Perth. Matt spent time here in his teens and early 20s, and Katie is West Australian born and bred. And with both sets of grandparents living here, there's lots of good things about the move.
For me, home has always been about where the family is, and I have always, even in the last 5 years, referred to Perth as home. And my parents don't have any children in Perth and no grandchildren in Perth, so they feel like they've won the lottery, that they're getting not only a child back, but they're actually getting grandchildren for the first time. So I think that it's a brand new era for them as well. Very exciting time.
Yeah, it is.
They're very excited.
Fantastic, built-in babysitters. But being reunited with friends and family in Perth isn't making the serviced apartment they're now living in any more appealing. And these guys are desperate to find a new place to call home.
Put the milk in and then we'll go to the table. Table.
And they have a particular style of home they'd both like.
We're not looking to replicate what we had in Victoria.
Properties, I think we both love old architecture, and it's very, very rare in this market. There's a bit of Californian bungalow, but there's nowhere near that old Victorian terraces or Victorian red brick places. And there's a bit of it, but nowhere near the sort of depth that Melbourne has.
That's going to make our work a bit harder. What about location?
I had a slightly different, I suppose, preference for location. I loved and previously had spent quite a bit of time when I was in Perth and East Fremantle and loved it. And, its proximity to the beach, to the river, to my favourite pub in Perth. So it's something that is sentimental to me.
You love the beach, where I prefer the river. So you lived near Fremantle previously, and I lived near South Perth previously.
Well, it wouldn't be a property search without a sticking point.
Matt wants to live 20 kilometres south of the Perth CBD in East Fremantle, whereas Katie wants to be nearer to trendy cafes and shops closer to town.
Some things have to be compromised in the quest for the perfect home, doesn't it?
Oh, I get it. So the fireworks start tomorrow, huh?
Looks like we've got our work cut out for us. They're also after an investment property back in Melbourne, a 1-bedroom apartment that will be a nest egg for their children.
We're definitely looking for guidance and instruction. We say that we want off the plan, but we're really open to advice on that.
But first things first, new job, new state, new baby on the way, and no place to call home.
How many bedrooms are we looking at?
It needs to be 3.
At least, yeah.
Minimum 3.
Does that mean the budget's about 1.3 to 1.5?
That's how we've enlisted your help, because you two are meant to be the best negotiators in town.
We're good negotiators, but we're not sure about miracle workers.
So that's 3 bedrooms and preferably a house with a bit of character.
They've got $1.1 million to spend. It sounds a lot, but it's not when you're looking in the areas they're interested in.
East Fremantle for Matt and blue chip suburbs closer to the city for Katie. Things could get tricky, not to mention pricey.
What have been the main compromises you've had so far?
Probably Fremantle.
You don't like Fremantle?
Well, not that I don't like it. I went to school there and I have lots of friends there and certainly lots of acquaintances there. I didn't want to go back there. I don't want to go backwards.
Yeah.
East Fremantle for me is great, and we lived in Petra Street as a group of mates, and that was a huge amount of fun. And it was walking distance to the left bank and the tennis courts from the river, and so close to Port Beach. So
Sounds like someone's going to be compromising. And let's not forget there's also the second property in Melbourne.
We're not single-minded about any one particular investment or any particular place. It's really about, it is an investment. It does need to make money. It doesn't need to make money in the next 2 years. It can make money in the next 10 to 20. It's not a short-term, it certainly wasn't planned as a short-term investment.
Katie and Matt are looking for an investment apartment in Melbourne within 10 k's of the city.
This Melbourne investment needs to be near good transport links, and they're not opposed to buying off the plan. Their budget for this search, $400,000.
So how important is the next few days? I mean, this is a pretty significant purchase we're looking at.
It's massive.
It's timely. The time frames here.
It's massive. We don't have a plan beyond this Friday of what's next. And in the next month and a bit, we'll actually be homeless.
They've got a total budget of $1.5 million. That's $1.1 million for their Perth family home and $400,000 for the Melbourne investment.
But first up is the search for their Perth home. Wow, this family's got a lot going on. New state, new job, new baby, and nowhere to live.
No wonder they're feeling the pressure.
And I'm a little bit concerned because they just actually said that they don't agree on houses that often, and that doesn't bode that well for us.
I know, but one thing's for sure, they've got to get out of that service department pretty quickly, and it's up to us to find them something they'll both like.
Katie and Matt have moved over 3,000 kilometres west, swapping Melbourne's 4 seasons for Australia's sunniest capital city, Perth.
And with over 80 kilometres of sandy white beaches, it's no wonder it's been voted one of the world's most livable cities.
They're leaving behind the city of arts, culture and cafes for a more laid-back lifestyle. And since the heady price rises caused by the mining boom, property prices have now flattened out, so there are some good buying opportunities to be had.
Trouble for us is Katie and Matt can't agree on where they want to live, so it's hard to know where to start.
So we've picked the best houses in the areas they both like, and first off we're taking them to the leafy suburb of Shenton Park, just 4 kilometres west of the city.
It's an area that Katie likes more than Matt, and we found a beautiful old house that hopefully they'll both love.
There's also a park with a playground on the doorstep which would be great for Charlotte. And Shenton Park train station's only 500 metres away, giving Matt an easy commute to the city.
So we've got here is a double-fronted weatherboard, built in 1916, loads of period features, more than livable as it is. Initial impressions?
Good. Yeah, it's cute.
yeah, same. I think it's cute. It's hard to tell from the front.
Matt's not looking overly impressed by the outside. Hopefully inside will win him over.
It's a great house with 3 good-sized bedrooms, a grand living and dining room, and with a lick of paint could be a beautiful family home.
On the market for just over $1 million, it's under Katie and Matt's $1.1 million budget.
It might not be decorated to your taste, but I love that knowing look. But you've got lovely high ceilings. You've got some great period features. And this actually is quite a large room.
Yeah, it's a lovely room. You're right, the decor's not what we would have it, but that's not a drama. It's a really nice room. It's got really nice high ceilings. It's got big, really tall windows, which I liked, which we've come from, and I really like that in a property.
It's beautiful.
You guys asked first impressions. Don't ask me because I take a little while to suck it in, and I'm still distracted by the colour of the walls.
I think Matt needs a bit more time to let this one sink in.
At least Katie's sounding positive, so that's a step in the right direction.
So coming outside, you see they've got this covered area, but they've also got an entertainment area there.
Looking back here, can you see that there's something here that you might be able to do?
I think for the short term, it just really needs a paint and redecoration, just to make it sort of feel a bit more contemporary and a bit more our style. And then, yeah, in time you could definitely do a bigger rear extension and make more space, make more room.
Poor Matt, he looks like he's got the weight of the world on his shoulders.
Well, we know he's not that keen on this area, and the talk of all those renovations can't be making him feel much better.
So, what are your thoughts?
Don't love it.
Don't love the house or don't love the area? Or a bit of both?
Yeah, a bit of both. So.
But what if this house was actually in an area that you loved?
I'd probably be a bit more open to it.
For Matt, it's all about location, location.
So outside, you're looking pretty positive about the potential of this property. Now you've had a good look around inside. What are your thoughts?
I think that I just want to be quite positive about the properties that we're seeing, and what we've seen have actually been really nice homes, so there's nothing to be super critical about them.
But are they for you?
Not this one.
Looks like it could be too much work for Matt. Not the best of starts. This is certainly going to be a tough search. Fingers crossed the next one gets a better reaction.
I think it's a really nice little house.
Well, look, it's probably 2 blanket canvas for me.
Oh, look, I have no desire to live on a main road.
The visual for me is that I can see our family living here.
After an exciting promotion, Matt and Katie have moved west to Perth to a whole new way of life.
Our job is to help them find their dream family home, but getting them to agree on what they like is no walk in the park.
He wants to be close to the beach and East Fremantle. She wants to be near funky shops and the city.
And that leaves us, well, stuck in the middle.
The one thing Katie and Matt do agree on is that they like period homes with lots of character.
So rather than take sides, we've scoured the market and found houses in both areas that fit their brief and their $1.1 million budget.
Our next stop is a great property in the inner western suburb of Subiaco, an area that Katie in particular loves.
The good news is that it's close to the city for Matt and has streets lined with great shops, bars and restaurants.
Even better, the house isn't on the market yet, so Katie and Matt will be the first to look at it. Well, it's pretty easy to see why you'd like this as a young mum that's, got the cafes nearby, you've got Kings Park, which is very much walking distance away. So there's lots of reasons why it's got that community feel for you, and if Matt's travelling a lot, you don't have that sense of isolation.
Yeah, and that's really important.
Yeah, we're thinking of you with this one.
Yeah.
We have thought about you, mate, because one of the things here is because you travel so much, when you go inside, you'll see that there's not a single thing that you need to do.
Speaking my language a little bit now, right?
At least Matt's willing to give it a chance, even though it's in an area that he doesn't particularly like.
This beautiful house was built in 1943 and is new to the market.
It's been renovated to create a modern family home, whilst keeping the period charm that Katie and Matt are after. It's got 3 bedrooms, a good-sized kitchen and a great garden for Charlotte.
But a house of this standard in the prime location of Subiaco comes with a hefty price tag, and the agent's quoting offers over $1.15 million.
It's beautifully air conditioned in here.
Yeah.
It is. It's lovely and cool and neutral.
So when you walk into this room, the first thing you notice is the period features, really good natural light, and they've continued the Jarrah floorboards throughout. Is this to your taste?
Yeah, it's nice. It's neutral. The same detailing that we had in Camberwell.
Look, it's neutral. It's a bit of a blank canvas, a bit of, and it is really, really great lighting in the front.
While this house is quite stylish and in immaculate condition, there's still room to make improvements.
I think this wide hallway is something really lovely. It is.
Wide hallways.
Leads into the kitchen here. If you did choose to extend or renovate towards the back, you'd want to make more of a feature of the kitchen looking out over to the garden. But in terms of its functionality right now, for you guys to move in...
Yeah, it's neat.
Perfectly functional.
Perfectly functional. Doesn't exactly sound like they love it.
I think it's time to divide and conquer.
How's this for a little girl's room?
It's already done.
Already done.
It's a great size room. House is very nice. It's a very nice house.
Usually when people start saying nice, it usually means that they're starting to back out of it. They're not so keen.
Well, it's not that I'm not keen. It's that sense of feeling when you walk in the door. You can imagine you living there.
Yeah, and so you're not getting that here.
Not having that at the minute.
Well, the one-on-one strategy backfired. Wonder how Bryce is getting on at the back.
So come through here, mate. You can certainly get a sense of the Perth climate, nice and warm. Good entertaining area. There's actually a shed through this door here, or just a bit of a room there for you to store your stuff. But I guess it's a very neat, low-maintenance garden out the back here.
Yeah, look, it is neat. Like you said, it is very low maintenance as far as the garden, because I've only got the one garden bed, obviously.
Yep. But that's a good thing for you. Do you spend much time in the garden?
I'd like to spend less.
Like to spend less? You know, we've come here, we've seen this property. It's a 3-bedroom. It's got nothing to do. It's got good space out the back. It's a double carport here. It's really ticks a lot of the boxes that you guys asked for.
I can see why people would consider it a beautiful house. I think it's a beautiful area, Subiaco, and I know a lot of people, a desirable suburb to live in.
Yep.
I think they've done a really neat job with their renovation. There's nothing about it that I absolutely love, to be totally honest.
Well, mate, it's pretty clear that Matt's not sold either. And these two said they couldn't agree.
Yeah, but we need to get them to agree on what they do like, not what they don't like.
So I think it's a really nice little house. I think they've done a really nice job with it. There's nothing that I dislike about it, but there's nothing that I'm having an emotional pull to.
Well, look, you know, it's probably 2 blanket canvas for me.
Great house, great spot, loads of the features they love, but I'm just not sensing any excitement at all.
And I would have expected more than nice, especially from Katie. I mean, this is an area that she loves.
Matt looked totally disinterested before he'd even walked through the front door.
Well, they did warn us that it was going to be difficult to please them.
Hey,
Hello.
So you've got to compare notes.
we've compared.
Yeah, we have a little bit.
And what's the upshot?
The upshot is that they've done a really good job. It's a neat place. It's a great suburb for Katie. But look, I think I can speak for both of us in saying that there's nothing that jumped out as far as us absolutely loving it.
Well, we always knew it was going to be tough getting Matt across the line in this area.
Yep, we tried but failed to spark his interest. And now tomorrow we'll have to change tack and our search area to find them a house they'll both fall in love with.
It's a new day, and that hopefully means a fresh start.
We're now scouring the market for houses in East Fremantle, which is Matt's favourite spot. Thankfully, we found a place that's got a lot going for it.
You know, it's always difficult to get couples to get on the same page with what they want. I mean, there's always different needs and different desires and all the rest of it, different tastes.
Today's about seeing if we can hit Matt's hot buttons and also see if Katie can compromise on being in this location.
If we can make Matt happy, if we can get a smile on that little dial, I wonder if she'll start smiling as well.
East Fremantle is bounded by the Swan River to the north and only 2 kilometres from beautiful Port Beach and the hustle and bustle of the cafe strip in Freo.
But while it might be Matt's ideal location, it's certainly not Katie's.
And on top of that, property doesn't come cheap in this neck of the woods, particularly the character homes they love.
So we've found a classic Federation house in Matt's favourite area at a great price. But there's a catch.
Hello.
Hello there.
How are you going?
Good, thanks. How you going?
Good. Mate, we're in your comfort zone here in East Fremantle, so it must bring a smile to your face.
You can smell the sea from here, can't you?
Well, I guess we've got to talk about the elephant in the room. We are on a very busy road for Perth standards, but as far as you guys go,
It's not my first concern, but, obviously we'd love to have a look.
We just have to work out whether you want to be here.
Oh, look, I have no desire to live on a main road again. We'll be honest, I don't.
Well, we always knew that this road would be a bit of a difficult hurdle to overcome, but the house is stunning. So let's go inside and have a look.
This grandly named residence, Redbank, was built around 1910 and has been beautifully restored.
It has 4 large bedrooms, an open-plan kitchen and living area, wraparound verandas, and a decent-sized garden.
It came on the market 8 months ago at a whopping $1.275 million.
But a lack of interest at that level has seen the price slashed. Now it's offers between $1 and $1.1 million, bringing it under Katie and Matt's budget.
So we have a very grand hallway.
Oh yeah, it's grand.
Yeah, wow.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful, isn't it?
Dripping with character and period features.
It's beautiful.
So we've got the high ceilings, we've got roses, we've got, wide cornices, you've got the architraves, you've got fireplaces, you've got the original tiling, LED light windows, jarrah floors. I could go on and on. So I'll take you through to the back, but we're going to go past two really good sized bedrooms there. There's the bathroom. Another two bedrooms, well, this one could be a living area.
Or media room.
And then this section here was built 15 years ago. It was architect designed by a local architect, does a lot of work on heritage buildings. So you've got that great floor plan, which is quite modern, but they've really kept in terms of the detailing and the glazing and the windows.
He's already sold.
There's a bulb out. I love it. It's very reminiscent of the houses that I grew up in as a young bloke. So this is exactly how I grew up loving houses to look.
Yeah.
Feels like home.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
The house is perfect. Perfect. Only thing is, it is on a busy road.
So what are we going to do about that?
I don't know. That might need some digesting.
What a relief. I'm so pleased we found something that Matt clearly loves.
But what about Katie? She obviously likes the house, but will it be enough to get her across the line?
I know you're concerned about the road noise, whether you can hear it at the back here. What can you hear?
Leaves at this point, and the wind. You can hear it a little bit, I'm not going to lie. You can.
Yeah, there's a hum.
Can't you? There's a hum.
It's whether you want to live in East Fremantle, isn't it?
You're right. I really do not have a desire to live here.
I can see that.
And I said that yesterday. I would be very happy to live in Shenton Park or Subiaco, but this house is not in Shenton Park or Subiaco, and this house is pretty special. So you don't have to convince me about the house.
No, I wonder what those blokes,
Yes.
what plans they're coming up with inside.
Let's go find out.
I wonder whether he's put an offer in.
So the jury's still out for Katie, while Matt looks like he's home sweet home.
But I must say, mate, it's good to see you with that response on your face, because I was a little bit worried yesterday because I thought we might have lost you because you clearly weren't interested in Shenton Park or Subiaco. Was that fair?
Oh, absolutely. I would be lying if I didn't say I was anxious towards the end of yesterday, thinking, well, we'd seen two properties and time's, drifting away really quickly, and I'm responsible for finding this family a home. Yeah. So I think ultimately that was the biggest underlying pressure yesterday. I hadn't felt that pressure until late yesterday. But the visual for me is that I can see our family living here.
Our hard work's paid off. Matt's fallen for the charm of this beautiful house.
Yes, but can he convince Katie?
I feel good. I'm just wondering how you're feeling.
I think that I need to think about it. I love the house, it's obvious. Like, who wouldn't love it?
Yeah.
It's just about that it's in East Fremantle, it's south of Canning Highway, and it is on a main road.
Okay. So what do you think? He loves it. I mean, call off the search. As far as he's concerned, show him the contract.
Not so fast.
What did you find out at the back?
Well, she's really, really, really seduced by this house, and she's feeling the pull, but she's resisting it because she doesn't want to live in East Freo and she doesn't want to live on a main road.
It'll be interesting to see who wins.
Very interesting.
I think that Matt will win.
Beautiful, though.
Yeah, I think you're right. And, more than likely we're going to end up picking house over anything else, even though we've been saying we're going to pick location over house.
I just happened to get the location I wanted.
Yeah, I think what yesterday showed both of us was the houses just weren't that great. They're not wow enough. We're ready to move into the wow phase.
To get a wow house in this area, you need a wow budget.
Yep, or be prepared to make some compromises. Something's got to give.
So are you having any change of heart from you there, Katie?
I have moved into the house, but I have not moved onto the road.
That's interesting. Have you moved into East Freo?
There's the jury's still out there as well.
So would it help your decision to know this property is on the market between $1 and $1.1 million, so it's right under budget in your target price range?
It absolutely is the ballpark, yeah, no doubt, but it's then about just a couple of little hurdles we've got to jump.
So we've managed to find Matt a house he loves. So where do we go from here?
I just need
I think now I just need to see some other properties to compare it to in this area and some time just to digest it.
That's actually good news because we've got another property for you guys to see. It's in this suburb, and the good news is it's north of Canning Highway.
And not on a main road. Let's go.
So with one more property up our sleeves, will it be wow enough to win them over?
Front is beautiful. Pool looks great. I dream of an ensuite.
What should do?
There's more space on offer here.
They're interested in putting an offer in on that property. Okay, we'll wait to hear from you.
This week, we're helping a couple with a lot on their plate. They've moved across the country from Melbourne to Perth.
And with a toddler and a new baby on the way, they desperately need to find somewhere to live.
I'm responsible for finding this family a home. That was the biggest underlying pressure yesterday.
It's a stressful time for them, but this huge move is bringing the family together. We've shown them a very grand character home in East Fremantle that Matt's fallen for, but Katie doesn't like the busy road.
I think now I just need to see some other properties to compare it to and some time just to digest it.
So we're showing them one more house just around the corner.
It's pricey, but in this area, that's what it costs to be on a quiet street and have all the features that Katie and Matt are after.
So really what we want to do is, we know that you love East Fremantle, but we also know that you don't like main roads. So this one isn't directly on the main road.
It's close though, so transport's easy.
Yeah.
The front is beautiful. It looks good.
Well,
I'm
inside is air conditioned, and I really think we should get in there as quick as possible.
Absolutely.
Do it.
This house has lots going for it. Built in 1925, it's a beautiful traditional home surrounded by wide sweeping verandas and a lush garden. Inside's very modern with 4 large bedrooms, including a master with ensuite and walk-in robe. There's also 2 more bathrooms and a designer kitchen.
And if that doesn't grab them, there's a resort-style entertaining area and heated pool out the back.
But as I said, wow houses come with wow price tags, and this one's a whopping $195,000 over budget.
Now come into the living room here, which is also considered the 4th bedroom.
Right.
We've got a beautiful period home, but it does come at a cost, because this is the asking price here is $1.295 million.
So it's got more bathrooms, more toilets, more, and that's why the price, or is that short distance off Canning Highway where the value is?
Keep in mind, the house that we saw on Canning Highway, if that was in a similar position, was going to add $200,000 or $300,000 just because of the change.
Of course.
But it's a beautiful home, and you've got a pool and you've got a garage at the back, and they're 2 things you didn't have on Canning Highway.
Katie seems interested, but I suspect Matt's heart's still back at Red Bank.
Well, you can see a lot from this kitchen, really. Obviously, you've got outdoors there, breakfast bar, you've got the billiards room over there, covered entertaining area, open entertaining area. I mean, there's quite a lot to this house, isn't there?
Yeah, it's beautiful. I don't think the house has the same wow as Red Bank.
Well, I think you need to take a wander around.
There's plenty to like about this house, but I think they need some time to see just what's on offer.
Well, the pool looks great, and particularly on a hot day. I just want to get in there. It's like a little plunge pool, which is perfect use of space.
You know, they are going to buy something. It won't be this, but they're going to buy something.
Yeah, it's pretty clear when you walk through the front door whether Matt's going to buy it or not. Red Bank has told us everything, and he loves this area, but he doesn't necessarily love this house.
I dream of an ensuite.
What should do?
No, but it is great that it's got it,
Yeah.
but it's not going to sell me the house.
Dear.
Katie's being very considered. Time to hear the verdict.
Well, this is a pretty different house, very different to anything we've looked at, but certainly in the area that you like. Has it helped or hindered you in this decision making?
No, I think it's helped. It's helped draw a comparison between the 2 properties. I think that Red Bank still has got something a bit more special, even though there's more space on offer here, more utility, more rooms. But I still think that there's still that emotional connection to the house at Red Bank.
So can we take that this one is a no then?
Yeah, it's a no for me.
Therefore, it's a no for me.
That's great. So that means that Red Bank's still very much on the agenda then.
Absolutely.
Matt looks like the cat that got the cream.
He really loves that property and the location, and it looks like Katie's now warming to it as well.
After a good night's sleep, we're headed back for another look at Redbank, and this time Katie's brought reinforcements. So you brought Mum to check out Redbank?
I've brought Mum as an ally.
Really? Is it divide and conquer here, 2 versus 1?
Mum is not a fan of old houses, so she's not swayed by the charm of houses, which is why she's a good neutral investigator, I suppose, because she's not going to be charmed by the arches.
This isn't looking good for Matt. I've heard it said that mother-in-laws can be tricky.
There's always that one in a million, Bryce.
I'm kind of hoping to come back today and the house to have lost its charm.
Oh, so you don't really want to buy it. You don't want to overcome the hurdle.
I'm hoping to come back and go, oh, it's not as big as I remember it being or something. I am just really concerned about that road, as I'm sure you're concerned about that road for me.
Are you concerned about the noise or the safety?
The noise.
The noise.
The house is unfurnished, so Katie's hearing the noise at its worst, but there are plenty of ways to reduce it.
As well as double glazing the windows, curtains, carpets and rugs absorb a lot of sound.
In the garden, adding a water feature will also mask noise, and trees and hedges provide good sound barriers.
While Katie and Nancy are pondering the possibilities, Matt's waiting nervously out the back. Now, Matt, tell me the truth. Did you bring your mother-in-law along thinking that she would be more likely to be on your side, or you had an uphill battle?
I think she's a tiebreaker.
Yeah, hopefully the fact that she doesn't like older houses isn't going to sway her either way.
Yeah, I only heard that this morning, which was pretty hilarious.
You did that last night.
But, hopefully then, if she says yay, then it's going to very much work in my favour.
I hope you're right, Matt.
Very, very nice.
Hi, ladies. How'd you go?
Well, I think it's lovely.
Wow.
But do you think the house outweighs the road?
I do. I do think the house outweighs the road. I don't think here you would even think about the road, would you, in this back room? I think it's lovely. I really think it's lovely, and it's definitely a you house, Kate, and it's obviously you a house.
That's a pretty easy commute from you.
It's very good for me. Just drop in on my way home from work.
That's right.
Love it.
So Redbank's got Mum's tick of approval, but is it enough to get Katie across the line?
Now, Matt and I chatted about the back that he's obviously already here, but it was for you to really come back and decide whether you could overcome the road. So has the revisit helped at all?
Yeah, I think it has. And I can visualise living here. That's very easy. I can place all the furniture. I'm not ready to make an offer today, but I'm certainly not far away. And then it'll just be about what we can get it for.
Great news. It seems that this beautiful house has finally won Katie over.
Guess we'll talk to you Monday.
And by the way, I haven't heard any road noise from here.
Well, you must be Jeff.
And while Katie wants the weekend to make her final decision, I've gone to Melbourne to get hunting for their investment property.
Let's hope it's not as tricky as the search for their family home.
They've lived in Melbourne for the last 5 years and want to keep a foothold in that market. They're after an apartment close to the city that'll give them good long-term growth over the next 10 to 20 years.
Consistently voted one of the world's most livable cities, and with the population set to boom in the next 20 years, that's good news for property investors.
And while I've hit the ground running in Melbourne, things are hotting up back west. It's taken a couple of days of deliberating, but Katie's made her mind up.
What have you guys decided on?
Well, I'm still very attached to East Fremantle, and I think Katie's very much come around.
So we convinced you enough to move to East Fremantle that you want to put an offer in?
Yep. We want to be really cheeky and put in a low offer.
We were sort of looking at around 920, 930.
Look, I think if we put an offer around 930, it's on the market at 1.1 to 1.1 million. At least we can see where they come back at as to what they're thinking. So, do you have a point where you don't want to go higher then?
I don't want to pay more than 950.
So don't pressure. So based on that, we can put an offer in. You're happy with me putting an offer in at 930?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's time to ring the agent.
Let's do it.
Go for it.
Yeah, John, it's Bryce Holdaway here. How are you? Yeah, I'm well, thanks. Look, I'm sitting here with Matt and Katie, and they're interested in putting an offer in on that property. Now, we know it's been on the market for a little while now, so we'd like to put our offer in at $930,000. Sure. Okay, we'll wait to hear from you. Thanks, John. Bye now. He's quite prepared to take that to the vendor and present that. So, As you know, this could take hours, it could take a couple of days, so we really just need to sit tight. You're a patient couple?
Yes, why not?
Katie?
I wouldn't have said patience was one of my virtues.
There's a lot on the line for Katie and Matt, and it would be great to find them a home before the baby arrives. But will their offer be enough to seal the deal? Okay. Very good. I'll let them know.
Katie and Matt have been through a rough ride of indecision, but they're finally on course to finding a family home.
I love it.
I just need some time just to digest it.
After a lot of deliberating, they agreed that Redbank, the beautiful house in East Fremantle, was the one for them. So we convinced you enough to move to East Fremantle that you want to put an offer in?
Yep.
On the market for $1 to $1.1 million, we went in low with an offer of $930,000. Now there's a lot riding on this for them, but it's still 70 grand under the asking price.
It's now a waiting game, so we're off to Cosmopolitan Melbourne and on the hunt for their investment pad. What's the key things that you guys are wanting to achieve on this trip?
Well, it'll be a lot less emotive decision, I think. So the pressure's definitely not there. And I think that we're actually be a lot more measured in our decision making.
Now we're quite clear this property is really as a long-term goal.
I'm so relieved to hear that this is a long-term investment. It's the safest and surest way to make money. In 10 or 20 years, they'll have a more valuable asset to pass on to their children.
So have you guys had a chat on the plane on the way over and sort of got together and thought about what you want to buy?
We came on separate planes, so we haven't actually...
We've come from separate states. Matt's come from Adelaide, so no, but we're both on the same page, I think, aren't we?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, like Perth.
Well, it's a moving target, Bryce.
Yeah, that's what worries us.
I'm having slight déjà vu, but it's probably nothing to worry about. This search is about investment, so hopefully they're keeping emotion out of the equation.
Katie and Matt want a good rental earner with one bedroom. The apartment has to be within 10 kilometres of the city centre and close to good transport links. For this, they want to spend around $400,000.
They're keen for us to show them an off-the-plan apartment, and we've found one in Richmond, just 2 kilometres east of Melbourne CBD.
Surrounded by shops, restaurants and bars, it'll be finished and ready to rent out in about a year's time. So what is it that's caught your attention with off the plan? Was it stamp duty savings or something else?
It was really about having something that was new, holding on to it for a long time, and its proximity to what Melbourne has to offer.
This is a massive complex of 456 apartments. We're showing Katie and Matt the plans for a one-bedder on the 5th floor.
The apartment will have a combined living dining area, kitchen and one bathroom.
It's also got a balcony with views of Studley Park. Being a new build, this should bring in a rental of about $480 a week.
On the market for $413,000, it's slightly over their $400,000 budget. And they should read the small print because the devil's in the detail.
Then if you want to add in air conditioning, that's another $5,000. If you want to add in the parking, that's $42,500. And if you want to add in a storage cage, that's another $5,000.
The extras are all optional and pricey, but they'll appeal to tenants and you'll reap the rewards when it comes to selling.
Quite like the location of it. What do you think, hun?
Yeah, look, it's okay. Look, I'm probably a bit distracted by the model.
A good distracted or?
Look, it's a lot clearer than a floor plan for me. But at the same time, I think it's getting a whole feel of the inner layout's probably more important for me than the outside. I know the street.
This is why buying off the plan is so challenging. You can't see what you're buying until after you've bought it. There's also no guarantee of capital growth in the short to medium term, which can be a problem if you need to sell.
I agree, but on the upside, it can have short-term payoffs like cheaper stamp duty and delayed settlements. But in general, buying off the plan isn't something you should rush. Do your homework, research the companies behind the project and understand exactly what you're signing up for.
I think with these display apartments, it's important to understand that this is meant to be indicative of pretty much every apartment in the complex. So you're not getting exactly that kitchen, but you're certainly getting that standard of finish, those appliances, etc.
Is there any feedback that you can give us?
Oh, look, it's a really high quality fit out and finish and space, and it probably exceeded our expectations.
In terms of being impressed with it, absolutely.
Well, what we can assure you is the next property that we're about to show you is definitely something that we can physically walk through, and it won't be a display suite, so I think we should make our way over.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
So they seem interested, but it looks like they need time to digest what buying off the plan really entails.
In the meantime, let's show them something already built in nearby Richmond Hill.
This is a well-established suburb, a short stroll from fabulous Bridge Road, close to transport, and investors love it.
Never far from the MCG. We always like to keep you nice and close.
Fantastic, isn't it?
Happy to be in Richmond Hill.
It's a good view.
Yeah.
It's an amazing view.
Fantastic view.
Well, this is a great little apartment. It's ground floor. Let's go and have a look at it.
Excellent.
Great.
Tucked away in a garden setting, this neat one-bedroom apartment is in a boutique block of 14 and comes with parking and possibly the world's smallest courtyard.
It's rented out at $350 a week, and in this top area could be a good little earner. In typical Melbourne fashion, it's going to auction with a price guide of $320,000 to $350,000. Come on through. I think one of the first things you can notice about this place is that you can tenant straight away, nothing for you to do, it's neat as a pin.
And I think when thinking about buying an investment property that was a one-bedder, this really was what was in my head as far as location, what it's got to offer.
But one thing for you guys to keep in mind is this is on the it's going to auction. It's on the market at $320,000 to $350,000. So experience says that that's going to go probably in the high threes. So it's really starting to push your top end of your budget.
The rental estimate on this, you may be able to see something like $350 a week. And obviously it's in an area that's in very good demand with tenants.
Yeah.
So what do they think?
Obviously the location is amazing.
Yeah, the location's incredible. You know, there's got so much going for it, and you imagine the sort of tenant that's going to be here, they probably are going to be a young single or a bachelor or a, you know.
Where's your head at?
Well, I think we've got two really diverse places that are both in great locations for us to compare.
Sounds like both options are in the running. So where does this leave us?
Here we are.
Hello.
Had a good look around?
We have.
We did.
Look, it ticks absolutely all the boxes from our expectations of what a rental property would be or an investment property would be. It's an amazing area.
Have you got any ideas which way you think you might go at this point, though? What are you leaning towards?
I'd say that Matt's leaning here.
Yep.
And then I'm leaning there.
Wow, Perth all over again.
Why does that not surprise me?
I think these guys need some time to mull it over.
It's a new day and we're waiting on word about Katie and Matt's offer on Red Bank back in Perth.
When you're negotiating, as you know, you've got to be prepared to walk away. Hello, Bryce speaking. The news isn't good. Their offer of $930,000 has been rejected, so they've upped the offer to $950,000. Hello, Bryce speaking. Okay, very good. I'll let them know. All right, appreciate the call. Thanks, John. Bye now. Mate, do you know that vice-like pressure in your head about getting a home? It's all gone. You guys have just bought a place for $950,000 in Canning Highway. Congratulations.
Well done, you.
Well done to you guys, hey? How do you feel about that?
Well, that's pretty good.
It's very exciting.
Good timing. No, look, it's been an enormous time. I think that, the sorts of pressures that have been on in the last 2 or 3 months just for the family itself, and then, work's been full on and there hasn't really been a day off. So it's, more than anything else, it's a big relief, I think. It's one of those times you want to just go and stand out in the middle of a field and take it all in rather than react straight away, I think. But no, look, I'm thrilled.
What a great result. We've managed to find them a stunning 4-bedroom period home in East Fremantle.
We sealed the deal at $950,000, saving Katie and Matt a massive $150,000. Definitely something to smile about.
These guys moved from one side of the country to the other, and it's great to know that they've now got somewhere to call home.
It took Katie a while to warm to Red Bank, so I want to make sure she's happy with her decision. 6 weeks on, and I'm back in East Freo to see how they've settled in. Hello, how are you? Good to see you.
How are you?
Good, thank you.
Welcome back to Perth.
Thank you. Not a box in sight. I was settled in nicely.
There is a box room.
There is. I'll look through.
Come on through.
What a difference a bit of furniture makes.
Yes. Here's Matt.
G'day, Bryce.
Hey mate, how are you?
Good, thanks. How you going?
Looking very comfortable with the domestic duties over there.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a cup of tea.
You settled in well?
I think we have. I think we're getting there.
It's been 2 weeks, and I think that all the essentials are out.
The spaces where we live are done. You know, there's lots of paintings to be hung, and we're just holding off just because Katie's got in her mind that she'd like to paint the whole house, which is ambitious given we've got 7 weeks until Katie's due. So
now, last time we were here, we talked about a couple of things. There was some noise reduction techniques you could do with the hedge out the front, maybe the soft furnishings. Have you had some discussions around that?
There are lots and lots of plans. So we're really in the quoting phase. So once that's done, then we're just going to hit the ground running in terms of getting all those things booked in.
Well, mate, last time we saw you, it was a really stressful time for you. Now that you've settled in, that was a huge thing for you, getting your family settled. How are you coping?
I think it's just the peace of mind that the girls are in a comfortable environment.
And how's Charlotte going? Is she happy?
She's been really enjoying the space. After being in the service department for 2 months, she just spends her time running up and down the hall. She calls it the big house.
And she told us on the weekend that she loves the big house.
Charlotte's one lucky girl. She's got an amazing house and garden to run wild in, and her doting grandparents are on hand to spoil her rotten.
Katie and Matt have only been in the house for 2 weeks, and already they've transformed it from an empty house into a beautiful family home. One of the many benefits of being in Perth is the free babysitting, so we're taking advantage of their good fortune and heading down to Matt's favourite pub by the river.
Well, this is exactly why Matt wanted to live in East Fremantle. He wanted to be exactly in this spot, or within walking distance of it. And I guess you've had that little dream fulfilled, haven't you?
Pretty much.
But for me, every day I find something new about East Fremantle that I really love.
Nice to see Katie's warming to the area, and with baby number 2 only 7 weeks away, it's understandable that they've put their Melbourne investment plans temporarily on hold.
It's definitely still on the agenda. I think we'd still love to have an investment property in Melbourne. We definitely see that that's a clever thing to do.
It's still going to happen. It's not that far away.
Well, here's cheers to your new life in Perth.
Cheers, Cross.
Cheers.
This was a huge move for Katie and Matt, and now they've finally settled into their beautiful family home. They can concentrate on what this move was all about: quality family time.
What does the monkey say? You beauty.